provide some guidance for our meditation this morning. Let's start by settling into a comfortable meditation posture. And when you're ready, softly close your eyes, and using whichever method you find most effective, please allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and rest, to become quiet and still. I'd like you now to please bring your awareness to your two thumbs. Draw your awareness into your two thumbs, the tops of your thumbs, actually. The tops of your thumbs just above your nails. That knuckle, those two knuckles there, just above your two thumbnails. Become aware of any tension that you might be carrying in those areas of your two thumbs, and then release that tension, release that tightness. Just let it go. And now the undersides of your two thumbs, the padding, the padded part underneath the two nails, any tension, any tightness that you might be carrying in these parts of your thumbs, please allow that tension to also dissipate. Just release it and let go. And now the so-called upper parts of your thumbs, the parts of your thumbs that intersect with your hands. There's another joint there. With all the use that those two joints of the thumbs receive, it's entirely reasonable to expect that there would be tension and tightness, constriction in these two parts of our thumbs. Just allow that tightness to dissipate also. Release it and let go. And all of your fingers now, all 8 fingers, any unresolved karma in your 8 fingers, from the tips all the way up to the points where your fingers intersect with your hands. Any unresolved karma that may manifest in the form of tension and tightness. Deliberately and gently, just allow that tension to release, to let go. And then all throughout your hands, constriction, tension, tightness, stress within your hands, unresolved karma that may manifest as tension, perhaps even arthritis. Deliberately decide to release that unresolved karma, that tension, and let go. Up into your hands now, the palms of your hands, the tops of your hands, the sides of your hands, the fleshy part on the sides of your hands. All forms of constriction, all forms of tension and tightness. Release that now as well. And let go. And your hands now might feel a bit warmer and heavier, and perhaps more unified as they rest in your lap. Your wrists and up into the lower parts of your arms now. The lower parts of our arms that we have labeled as forearms. Any constriction, any tightness that may be overtly manifest or tightness you may not even be aware of. Just decide that you're going to release that now and release that now. And up into your elbows and the upper parts of your arms. All of the muscles and the tendons and the bones, all these different parts of these parts that we call the upper parts of our arms. Any unresolved karma that may be residing in the form of tightness and constriction, stress, release that now and let go. From a place of wisdom, release that tension and that tightness. Up into your shoulders and especially the upper parts of your shoulders. The parts of your shoulders where from time to time you may carry the weight of the world. Very reasonable to think that there might be tension, tightness, unresolved karma in the top parts of your shoulders. The parts of your shoulders that intersect with the lower part of your neck. Release now. Release that tension. Release that tightness. And let go. Up into your neck and your throat. Tightness and tension there, subtler forms of tension and tightness, perhaps. Tightness that may have manifested through not speaking your truth or speaking words that you have come to regret. Unresolved karma there in your throat, in your neck. Let that go now. Please release completely. all up into your face now, your facial muscles, your cheeks, your nose, your forehead, all of these areas, all of these different parts of the part that we call our face, and any tension that may be residing there. Release that tension and tightness now. And up into our brains. We know without much need for creativity that we harbor a tremendous amount of tension and tightness within this organ called the brain. The organ that has the potential to work at the pleasure of our awareness. Give yourself full permission to release any tightness, all forms of tightness actually within the brain, and let go now. And moving back down now through this entity that we call the body, down into the chest. Just the front of our chest and the sides. Tension and tightness that may be residing there. Release that tightness and that tension and let go. And now please allow your awareness to go further inside of your chest to the very center of your chest, which is where your heart chakra is located. Your heart chakra, which is the seat of your compassion and your love, your capacity for both love and compassion. How wonderful it would be to release any constriction, all forms of constriction and tightness and tension and stress within our heart chakra, the seat of our compassion and love. Please go ahead and release that tension and tightness now completely. Down into your abdomen and your hips and your pelvic area. This constitutes a large part of our body. Any tension that you might be aware of, tension that you might not be aware of. Release both forms of that tension and that tightness now, and let go. And just relax and release. And finally down into the upper parts of our legs, our knees, the parts of our bodies that we commonly refer to as our calves, the lower parts of our legs, ankles, feet, toes, the soles of our feet. Just collectively now release any unresolved karma manifested in the form of tension, tightness, constriction, and stress. Release that now down into the earth, bringing no harm to any sentient being, no harm to Mother Earth whatsoever. Release that now completely. And for the last moment or two of our meditation, I'd like you to please just rest now and don't do anything. Just abide in the isness of this moment. Now, please, very gently and very gradually, allow your consciousness to become less absorbed as you begin to arise from meditation. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception have an abundance of pure air and water, delicious, nutritious food, safe, warm, dry, reliable, affordable shelter, and comfortable, functional, attractive clothing. And with everyone's basic needs met, may we all enter and progress on wisdom paths that lead to complete and permanent liberation from all forms of suffering. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Thank you, everybody, and welcome back. The most important thing that's ever happened to me in my life is meeting the Dharma. It's the most important thing that's ever happened to me, the most important and meaningful thing that's ever happened to me. The second most important thing is such a distant second, it doesn't even warrant mentioning. And within this most important thing that's ever happened to me, is the Ganges Mahamudra. That's the most important teaching I've ever received within this phenomenon called the most important thing that's ever happened to me, and that's meeting the Dharma. On March 28th, I sent an email to all of you and others. The people are regulars for our Monday and Friday meditation class, just letting you know that the Ganges Mahamudra is the subject of our class on our Thursday evening meditation for everyone class. And extended an invitation to partake. And I feel like I went back and read that email, given that we had few takers from our Monday, Friday meditation group of the Ganges Mahamudra teachings. And I went back and read that email and just realized that perhaps I didn't state strongly enough how important that text is, that teaching is. I'm recording the classes there. And as I was going back and doing some editing and organizing on our YouTube channel, where the recordings of the teachings are domiciled, not many views there. It's not on the verge of going viral. So just wanted to say that those are out there. I created a separate playlist called Mahamudra. So I would just encourage you yeah, I won't say anything more about that. It's very, very, very important, very special, very rare teachings, rare in terms of coming into access to, very rare in terms of our meeting with them. I don't think there are many people in the world who have ever heard of the Ganges Mahamudra, much less met the teaching, much less connected with it. And we've just got a special opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime from my perspective. I just wanted to remind you all that those teachings are there. One of the verses from the Ganges Mahamudra, of course, by Tilopa to his student Naropa, is foolish people who have no interest in this being the Mahamudra, foolish people who have no interest in this will only be continually carried off by the river of samsara. Those foolish people experiencing intolerable suffering in lower states of existence are worthy of compassion. So we might hear those words and say, wait a minute, did he just call me foolish? Just reciting the words of Tilopa, verbatim from the teaching. And right up there with, in terms of importance of teachings, are teachings on samsara. Teachings of samsara aren't the most feel-good. They're not the most feel-good for sure. It's not a warm and fuzzy for somebody to, it's not a warm and fuzzy for us to learn that basically our entire existence is in a state of hallucination, kind of bitter medicine, and it's really important medicine. I'm recording the teachings on samsara also on these Monday, Friday classes. A week ago today, we had the second class on samsara, recorded it, posted it on the YouTube channel. It's not on the verge of going viral either. And please know that you know, my feelings aren't hurt that not many people are partaking of these teachings. Just my message is that there's nothing more important, I think, than training the mind. Everything in our lives is a function of mind, so it makes sense to train the mind. And very, very, very important teachings on training the mind relate to Mahamudra and an understanding of samsara. Samsara being translated as cyclic existence. Cyclic existence. And what we talked about a week from today in the second class on samsara, the cyclic existence or the cyclic nature of our actions. We encounter something that we find undesirable, and then we do something. We engage in actions, we engage in contaminated actions, it's said, to try to address that suffering. Those contaminated actions create karmic causes, which will ripen in the effect, which will ripen as an effect in the form of more suffering, which we again try to address through more contaminated actions, which plants more karmic seeds, which results in suffering results, suffering effects, and so the cycle goes on and on. Contaminated, what makes them contaminated? The fact that the actions are contaminated by self-cherishing. I deserve better. I don't deserve this. Me, mine, I want to get out of this. I want different. I want it to be other than what it is because I deserve better. Self-cherishing is what contaminates those actions, which creates this cyclic existence, this cyclic experience. So that's kind of the micro version of samsara that we talked about on last Friday. And it speaks to, there's kind of a macro aspect to samsara as well. Macro aspect of samsara has to do with what's called contaminated rebirth. And it is the cyclic existence of contaminated rebirth over and over and over again into samsara. So we can look at it kind of as the collection of our actions creating karma contaminated by self-cherishing and self-grasping ignorance, different sides of the same coin. And those cause us that karma that we have created through our actions, sometimes called throwing actions, which throw us into a samsaric rebirth. That creates the macro samsara. Birth, aging, death, rebirth. Birth, aging, sickness, death, rebirth. Aging, sickness, death, rebirth, over and over and over again. This is the samsara. This is sometimes referred to as the prison of samsara that the masters are encouraging us to try to escape from this prison of samsara. Here again, what an amazing, even if we don't really understand how this cyclic existence works, either on a micro or a macro level, what an unbelievably, amazingly fortunate opportunity we have. The majority of the beings in this world aren't even aware that samsara is a thing, aren't even aware of this dreamlike hallucination that they are experiencing, that we are experiencing. Aren't even aware that it's a thing, much less being introduced to teachings that help us escape from this prison of samsara. I mean, it's the opportunity, not the opportunity of a lifetime, it's the opportunity of thousands and thousands of lifetimes. We've met the Dharma, and we have karma with the Dharma, and we have the means to acquire tools to break this cyclic existence, pervaded by suffering on both a micro and a macro level. It's absolutely amazing. The odds are just so astronomical. What remarkable good fortune we have. It's a beautiful thing. So that's it on samsara. That's the third and last teaching on samsara. And on Monday, we'll get back to some of the basics of the Lojong, and continue to do a deeper dive into those teachings, those trainings. So thank you for being here. Enjoy your day and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.